And then breaking news popped up, so it did. Boris Johnson, Michael has been in touch saying, Michelle, am I listening to a repeat of an old show? Boris Johnson, lockdowns. No, you are not listening to a repeat. Yes, I am live. And yes, this is something that just came out. Boris Johnson referred to the police by the Cabinet Office over new claims, apparently, that he's broke COVID lockdown rules. This is all links back to the COVID inquiry. He's basically turned up details, apparently, in the PM's diary that show visits by friends to Chequers during the pandemic. Goodness me. Baroness, your thoughts?
Well, the witch hunt continues. I mean, is this a story, a non-story? Apparently, I think if you read further into it, any inquiries they have actually already discussed. And if it was such a secret, why would any of the information be in the ministerial diaries if anybody was trying to hide something? So, no, I think everybody's sick to death of this entire thing now, and it just carries on. So am I surprised? No, I'm not.
Michael?
Yeah, I think it's interesting as a broader story, the Partygate one, because, you know, we started this conversation talking about Suella Braverman and we had a rare moment of agreement where we were saying this does...
That did not last long, though, yeah.
This does seem like a bit of a technicality. She asked a civil servant this or that. I think the Boris Johnson Partygate story surprised many people because of how much the public cared. Right, so you can look at this like, oh, there were some technical breaches, it was a small fine here or there. But I think because people went through such a difficult period throughout COVID-19, that this touched a nerve. And that's why I don't think it is correct to call it a witch hunt, because I think there was a real popular demand for Boris Johnson to be held account for this. I don't think it was a top-down conspiracy. So this element of the story, I'm not here, oh, God, great, we get to talk about Boris Johnson and COVID rules again. I mean, I'm a little bit bored of it as a journalist.
But accordingly, the spokesmen have looked into it and they have said, we've checked this, and that is not the case.
I mean, if you believe a spokesperson instead of...
Well,
a spokesperson said this is not case closed, is it?
Simon Case, who's head of the, you know, in number 10, I mean, who actually apparently attended some of the part, then recuses himself from the initial inquiry. Then we've got the whole Sue Gray debacle that's gone on, clearly. And now, all these months later, I mean, they're not trying to get Boris out of Downing Street, are they? Because they've already managed that. I mean, that's happened. So,
you know, this will be something.
What's this story? What is it now that somebody's now seen something else? I mean,
someone's now seen something else. They tell
this will divide you at home because there are two camps. I think exactly the point that you're making. I think if you perhaps did lose somebody in your life, if you're one of those people that you were not even allowed to go to the funeral of your loved one, I'll never forget that video where there's, I think it was two sons tried to comfort one of their parents at the funeral of the other, and the funeral guy got up and moved their chairs away and all the rest of it. So if you had that kind of experience, you will be perhaps infuriated by some of the things that come out on this Partygate stuff. The other side of the fence is just move on, and is it a political witch hunt? You give me your thoughts. I'll tell you the overriding sentiment that I have. It proves to me all of this just reinforces in my mind that COVID was never as serious as we were led to believe, terrified to within an inch of our lives in some cases because of this apparently desperately terrifying virus. I've always pondered, if it was so terrifying, why did everybody then in the know, or a lot of people in the know, seemingly not be that afraid? Why are you inviting people around here, there and everywhere, offices, country paths and all the rest of it, if indeed you were so close to the data and if indeed it was as terrifying as we were led to believe? Anyway, you can have the final say on that at home. What do you make to it all?